Clemson in the mix for another big-time defensive lineman. Who is it? We'll talk about it. Before we do, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can stay up to date on all of my exclusive Clemson content I put out every single week. All right, who is it? Well, it's Hevin Brown-Shuler, a guy who is out of Atlanta, Georgia, somebody that I talked about recently on a previous video where I discussed guys that Clemson had offered early on in the 2022 year, and Hevin Brown-Shuler was one of those guys for the 2024 recruiting class that Clemson really had their eye on. He is an interior defensive lineman, but we'll see some of his film and show you what he looks like. Again, big-time guy, 6'4", 290 pounds, has 36 offers right now from Clemson, Colorado, Georgia, Michigan, North Carolina, just to name a few. And obviously a big-time player. 4-star overall, 10th best player for defensive line, according to 24/7 Sports Composite. He's from Pace. He goes to Pace Academy, and if you haven't ever seen Pace Academy, well, I wanted to show it to you because it freaking looks like Hogwarts. I mean, look at that castle. They actually call it the castle. It is a beautiful school. By the way, they have their upper portion of their academy donated by Mr. Arthur Blank, guy who was a big-time Home Depot mogul and owner of the Atlanta Falcons, so big-time guy there. But again, one thing that really stuck out to me for Pace Academy was the tuition, $36,800 to go to the school. Now, you can get scholarships, and someone like myself would definitely need to get scholarships. But before we get into, well, we'll stop with the school, and we'll get into his football highlights up next. So let's pull up some of his film from Huddle.com, junior highlight mid-season. He released here again, 6'4", 290, Pace Academy. You'll see some highlights here against Woodland High School. They just beat them up 31-0. Much weaker team for them. About an average in their division, but they just tore them up. And he plays exclusively left end from what I can see, and he gets in a 3-point stance, 4-point stance, and sometimes you'll see here he can even stand up. But very difficult to move back. I see him engage into the offensive tackle, and he does not go backwards. He does not go side to side. He is a very thick guy. His nickname is Heavy Duty, by the way. That offensive tackle just didn't know what to do. Barely even touched him. He just said, hey, I'm giving up. You just go ahead and take the quarterback. I don't care. But again, very difficult to move around. He's going to have his way. He is everything that he says in his nickname of Heavy Duty. Wins double teams very regularly. Now, inferior teams have to go up against him with double teams and chip blocks. You can see him here showing some of his versatility to go to the outside. Now, that's not very often that he goes to the outside like that or stands up. Typically, you see him move to the inside, but you can just see his length being able to pull in a guy. Here's some more highlights from his game against Lovett. Now, they actually lost this game, away game 30-20, but he continues to show his power, his ability and understanding of how to use mass and leverage. He doesn't have like this really big, repertoire of moves, but he doesn't really need them because, as you can see from the backside here, he is a just massive guy. He can really move his body and use his leverage against you. And even when he's still being tackled, he can put his nose in on the play. I like that he engages in the guy in front of him, but then quickly moves on to the inside or outside, or even fights through double teams here. You see the guys can't even really control him. This is against Greater Atlanta Christian School. They won 31-0 against them as well. Just not going to be a guy that's easy to move around. He plays left end right now, but again, when you look at his posts on social media and who he's tagging in from Clemson, it is Nick Eason. So that would mean to tell you and tell me that he is being recruited for interior defensive line. And if you look at him so far, I mean, he has the looks to be the next greatest Clemson defensive tackle. He can do that if he commits to Clemson. Now, he's warm to Clemson, but he's also, 24/7 Sports has him warm to like 6 other schools. So no really knowing for sure yet, and there's no indication when he's going to commit, but he's definitely somebody who is very interested in Clemson by the amount of times he has visited there, and somebody that I think that Clemson would be very excited to land. Obviously, obviously they showed that they were excited because they offered him very early in the process, as you know from my previous video. Hey, let me know. That's 5 minutes. I can't believe I just hit 5 minutes. I'm going to continue talking to go over my 5 minutes, but let me know what you think in the comments about Hevin Brown-Shuler. Heavy duty. Do you think he'll be a big pickup for Clemson if Clemson were to get him? Or do you think maybe Clemson should look at someone else? I'd be, probably checking your head if you think Clemson should look at someone else. He's definitely somebody, no matter where he goes, is going to be a valuable asset if he can continue on the path that he's showing from his junior year. Again, 2024 guy, so he still has time to develop. Not going to be, a freshman until next year. So we'll see where he ends up. If he continues and pushes his recruitment all the way out to December, who knows? We'll see. But again, good signs for Clemson that he visited multiple times during last season and he attended Elite Junior Day.